Hey everyone, welcome back. So this is a not a haul video. So I'm doing a video that's not a haul video. Sorry about the glare on my glasses, you probably can't see my eyes. But I need them to be able to tell you what I'm going to read off my screen here. So this is going to be a video, I've been waiting to do this for a little while. So basically this is going to be a sort of a recommendations video. This is a recommendations video for comedy movies. So I love comedy movies. I love teen comedies, offensive comedies, late 2000s, sort of mid 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s, that sort of thing. That sort of era. So, you know, with the American Pies were coming out, the road trip movies, Euro Trip, I'd class those type of comedies as sort of like A-list, you know, top tier. Everyone's seen those kind of movies that are into those sort of movies. They'll be like the A-list kind of like list of comedy movies you'd find. However, last year I was sort of like delving into, I know my mate Sammy G, who's shout out to Sammy G, Sammy G's World of Movies. He was going through a big comedy, American comedy kick last year. I was sort of like low key doing one myself as well. And yeah, I was basically scratching the surface of a few films like that were straight to DVD sequels, maybe for certain films, or just films that I'd never heard of personally. Now they may have been films that are well known either in America more than here, or just in general more than what I did, so I might have missed them on the first go round. So they're quite famous, but I just missed them personally. Or they're just really well known films, which I think like nowadays they're getting to the age where they're probably getting forgotten. I don't think you know, there's one on here which is like probably the most well known one as far as I'm concerned, but I don't hear anyone mentioning it or talk about it. Funny enough, I mentioned it in a video recently. So I think, you know, that sort of inspired sort of this video. But yeah, basically these are going to be 15, you know, if you're American Pies, your road trips, you know, all the movies you can think of that you saw as a teen or in the early 2000s, comedy-wise, were like the A-list, the pinnacle of these movies. These are like the B-grade and C-grade movies of these ones. So I'm not claiming these movies are brilliant. They're not going to win any awards. They're not going to win any Oscars. But if you like offensive, if you like stuff you just definitely cannot say today, just, you know, teen comedies full of, you know, offensive language, nudity, things that you can't say to people and you would never say to people in real life, just insane situations. This is a recommendations video for 15 of those movies. So, you know, sit tight and we'll get through them. Here we go. Okay, so like I say, so I'm not claiming any of these aren't unknown movies. A lot of these are very well known or have been well known, but I think that some of them, this one in particular we're going to kick it off with, is probably just less spoken about nowadays. So this one here, I'm just going to refer to my laptop because my memory's like a sieve, so I can't remember these off the top of my head. But I have created a list. So I've created a list of 15 movies, which I'm just going to go through now and just chat through on the video. So the first one is from 1999, and that is Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. So yeah, I saw this came out when I was probably quite a mid-teen, early teen, and the sort of the plot or the title of a male gigolo basically had zero interest for a teenage boy. Well, for me anyway. Maybe some teenage boys were attracted to that, but for me personally, I you know, had zero interest, so I just avoided this one like the plague when it was released back in the day. Never saw it, so I only saw it for the first time last year. I knew roughly what it was about, but yeah, I'd never actually watched it. I really enjoyed this movie. I give it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd out of 5. So basically, this is about a guy who's basically I'll read you the plot here. So Deuce Bigalow is a less than attractive, down on his luck aquarium cleaner. There you go. One day he wrecks the house of a gigolo and needs quick money to repair it. The only way he can make it is to become a gigolo himself. Taking on an unusual mix of female clients, he encounters a couple of problems. He falls in love with one of his unusual clients, and a sleazy police officer is hot on his trail. There you go. So this has got obviously Rob Schneider. I'm not going to go, you know, massively deep into these because I want to get through the video quite quick. But I was surprised how much I enjoyed this one. There were scenes in this moment, like there was bits in this film. I'm just looking at my friends on Letterboxd, see what they've rated it now. So I've got Mike at Cinema Axman, he given this one 2.5 stars. So it's obviously not for him. You got Andy, my mate Andy at Forgotten World of Movies, giving it 3 stars. So it's pretty good. Yeah, so I've got a few people on here have mixed opinions. I've given it more a high opinion, but I've probably got a lower, what do they call it, lower standards than them for comedy maybe. So yeah, that was my first one on the list. We'll move on quickly before I get in say something I shouldn't. So next one on my list is the road trip movie, which I think a lot of people would know. I know my mate James over at Movie Mad is a big fan of the road trip and the Euro trip type movies as well. But yeah, this one is Road Trip Beer Pong, come out in 2009. So this one here, the plot of this one is it's a road trip beer pong. 3 college roommates are on the ride of their lives when they drop everything to join a bus full of sexy, scantily clad models to compete in the ultimate sport competition, the National Beer Pong Tournament. Now, I gave this one 3 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. I thought this was a pretty good time, considering it's a kind of, I don't know if it's a straight-to-DVD sequel. Maybe it came out as the theatres in America or here, but I never mixed it. The average rating on this one on Letterboxd is a 2.1 out of 5, so it shows you what most people think of it. However, I don't think any of my friends that I follow on Letterboxd currently have seen this one or at least rated it on there. So I can't give you other people's opinions. But yeah, I had a good time in this one. It's got like, all the things you would expect from this type of film. Cheesy kind of like teenage comedy, awkward scenarios, probably nudity, I can't even remember now. It normally has that sort of stuff in those type of movies. So that's the second one on my list. Road Trip Beer Pong. Had a great time with that one. So the next one, I know my mate Andy again, Forgotten What a Movie says, a fan of this one. And this one, again, I hadn't seen until last year. I think, again, probably more well-known in America as a more sort of mainstream film. But for me, I hadn't really heard of it or seen it up until recently. That is a movie called Fired Up from 2009, so a bit later on the list than some of these movies. And the plot for this one, 2 guys, 300 girls, you do the math. Popular high schoolers and best friends Sean and Nick decide to ditch football camp for cheerleader camp for the girls and for the glory. So they're basically, these couple of footballers decide that, why are we messing around with all these guys on the pitch? If we just go and join up all this cheerleader camp, we'll be like inundated with girls and we can have our pick. So it's exactly as it seems. Now, what did I rate this one? I rated this one 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. My pal Andy here is giving it 3.5 stars. And I think Graham over at, what's his channel called? Man v Film, has given it 3 stars as well. So, fairly highly rated. So the average is 2.9 on Letterboxd for this one as well. But yeah, recommend that one if you like your teen sport comedy. I think with some of these ones, I think that one especially, if I remember rightly, there's an unrated version available out there somewhere. And then there's a slightly rated version of some of these as well. So just be wary if you're looking for them. If you want to get the unrated, obviously, just make sure you're getting it. Now this one was one I stumbled across by accident, I think last year or year before, and this one is a movie called 100 Girls. This one came out in the year 2000. I give this one 3 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. He met the girl of his dreams, if only he can meet her again. So Matthew, a college freshman, meets his dream girl in a dorm elevator during a blackout. He never sees her face, but instantly falls in love. In the morning, the power is restored, but the dream girl has vanished. All Matthew knows is that she lives in an she lives in an all-girls dorm, and he sets out on a semester-long journey to find his mystery girl among the 100 female suspects. Who could it be? And then it goes on to list all the names. But yeah, so the average score for this one on Letterboxd is 2.6 out of 5. Like I said, I give it a 3 and a heart. I'd go back to this one again. So my pal Andy, again, we can see we've got similar tastes in films here. So he's giving this one a 3 as well. And who's this one? So Kenny Jones. So go check out Kenny's channel. I meant to give him a shout out the other day or at the start of this video, actually. Great guy, really friendly guy. He comes across really well on camera. He looks like such a nice, genuine fella. I've seen him on Ollie's live streams quite a lot, and I've recently subscribed to his individual channel. I didn't actually. I struggled to find his channel at first. I think it goes under Kenny Jones. I'll have to put a little blurb up on the screen here for you. So if you're interested in checking out Kenny's channel, go check him out. Really nice guy from America, I think Philadelphia. if I'm not mistaken. Likes his sort of like rom-coms, likes his comedies, likes his John Candy movies. Like I say, really just genuinely nice fella. Really enjoy listening to him. Really enjoy Ken's videos, and I would just want to say, if you're going to go over and follow him and you see the thumbnails, I think it's Hamilton Books or something like that he sometimes has on his thumbnails. Now, because we're in the UK, we don't have that, and I was unaware that wasn't just a books pickup kind of video, it was actually a film video. So, click on anything on his channel, it's pretty much, I think, all film related, regardless of whether it says about books or anything like that. So, be sure to go check out his channel, really good guy. Okay, so moving swiftly on. So the next one on our list is a movie called, again, I found this one just by chance when I picked up the Blu-ray quite a while back now. If you watched the channel a long time, you might remember. And that is a movie called Soul Men from 2008. So I logged this one 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. The average is 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, so I'm bang on with my score there. This one stars Samuel L. Jackson and Bernie Mac. Two former backup soul singers, Lewis and Floyd, have not spoken to each other in 20 years and reluctantly agreed to travel across the country together to a reunion concert to honour their recently deceased lead singer. Cleo, a beautiful young woman who is believed to be Floyd's daughter, accompanies them as a new singer. So yeah, now this had me howling in certain scenes. Like, this film, it had some, there were just certain scenes there when, I'll tell you one, there's one where Bernie Mac is having, I think it's a medical exam, and he starts singing Sitting on a Dock of a Bay. Oh my gosh, that had me howling. There's only a short scene, it's quite near the start, but my god, it had me howling. So my pal Andy here, he's got a score there of 3.5 on Letterboxd for this one, so he liked it. Maybe a touch more than me apparently, but there you go. So yeah, pretty decent one to check out if you haven't seen that one. Okay, so number 6 on our list is, now we're going back to where we started almost here, so this is Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, so the sequel to the first movie we started the list with. This one came out in 2005, I starred this one 3.5 stars, I think the same as the first one out of 5. Now I'm very much in the minority with that score on this one. The average score on Letterboxd seems to be 2. So this one here is basically, I think they go across Europe. So for the women of Europe, the price of love just got a lot cheaper. Deuce Bigalow goes to Amsterdam after a little accident, including 2 irritating kids and a bunch of aggressive dolphins. I mean, that alone, if that doesn't interest you alone, you're probably watching the wrong video. There he meets up with his old friend TJ Hicks, but a mysterious killer starts killing off Amsterdam's finest gigolos, and TJ is mistaken for the extremely gay murderer. Extremely gay murder. Juice must enter the gigolo industry again to find the real murderer, to clear TJ's name. There we go. I mean, that plot for me, it's fantastic. So Rob Snyder comes back again for that one as the main lead. Again, Mike over at Cinema X-Men's giving this one 2.5 stars. Andy doesn't appreciate this as much as I did. It seems 2.5 stars. And I think Graham's got another one logged there, just nothing. So I don't know whether that means he hated it or whether he'd seen it and he couldn't make up his mind. I'm not sure, but there we go. That's that one. Okay, so the next one we got on the list here is number 7, is now a movie that uses the title, purely the name of this film is only in title. It's nothing to do with the first one. So this is a sequel movie, technically not, based on what I just said. That is The Bachelor Party 2, The Last Temptation. So this one came out in 2008, has nothing to do with the Bachelor Party from the 80s with Tom Hanks. It just uses their names to try and cash in on it. Now, I rated this one 3.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. This one, I'll give you the plot for this one. So Ron and Melinda may be happily engaged, but Melinda's scheming brother-in-law, Todd, doesn't like the thought of the new addition to the family business. So he plans to incriminate Ron at the ultimate bachelor bash in Miami Beach. Between Ron's party-hearty friends and Todd's tantalising temptations, not to mention a sex addict's convention in the hotel right next door, it's an outrageously sinful celebration that you have to see to believe. I can vouch for that. Like, there was lines of dialogue, I think it was this movie, I'm sure it was this movie, there was lines of dialogue in this movie which I couldn't believe I was hearing. It was just so offensive / hysterical. it was breaking me. I think I was actually messaging Andy at the time and telling him he needed to check this one out. No one else that I follow on Letterboxd has seen this one, so I can't give you anyone else's sort of like opinion or kind of like mediation on that one to see whether I'm just on my own. Right, swiftly on to the next one, number 8. Another one here, which is a sequel to a film that some of you may already know. This one is called Still Waiting, the sequel to Waiting, if you're familiar with that one. So Still Waiting came out in 2009. I give this one again 3.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. The saucy sequel to Waiting, after Shenanigans loses, which is the restaurant, all of its hottest waitresses to the new competitor Tata's Wing Shack, where the scantily clad wait staff earns bigger tips. The Shenanigans staff aims to give Tata's its just desserts. And there we go. So this one I don't think has most of... Well, it's got a few cast members continuing over. It doesn't have... Who's the main guy? I think, is it Ryan Reynolds in the first one? He doesn't come back. If it is Ryan, can't think now. The average score on Letterboxd for this one is 2. So, beware. But again, for me, 3.5 all the way. Again, none of my... people that I follow on Letterboxd have given that a rating, so I can't give you anyone else's side of the story on that one. Next, number 9. So number 9 is a movie that I watched relentlessly as a young man on DVD when it came out, and found hysterical, and sadly still find hysterical to this day as a man in my 40s. That is a 2001 movie called Freddy Got Fingered. So Tom Green, if you're a certain age, you'll know who Tom Green is. If you're younger, then you will not have a clue. He was massive on MTV back in the day. I rated this one 3.5 stars again out of 5. The average for this one is 3. Very mixed bag though. There's lots of 5 stars and then lots of 1 stars by the looks of it. So this one here, it's hard to explain this one, but I'll just read their blurb to try and give you an idea. This time you can't change the channel. So he used to do a TV show on MTV, like I say, it was massive. It blew up huge before like, the internet, everything was a thing. Unemployed cartoonist Gordy Brody, I think his name is there, moves back in with his parents Jim and Julie and younger brother Freddie, which is one of the guys from the American Pies. So you'll see a lot of these cast members actually interchange between these movies, weirdly. When his parents demanded he leaves, he retaliates by spreading rumours that Jim is sexually abusing Freddie, so his dad is sexually abusing his son, hence the title. Now, let's see. So there's quite a few of my friends or people that I follow on here that have seen it. Leon Vegas gives this 5 stars. Good channel. Bumper's Movies, he's given this one 4 stars. Cinema Mike, he's given us 3.5 stars. Andy, he's given this one 3 stars as well from Forgot What Are Movies. Graham again from Man v Film has given it no stars, but has logged that he's seen it. Sam wants to watch this one, so Sam, get on this one, mate. And Scott as well. So Scott the movie critic, so he wants to see this one as well. So yep, these 2 guys, I would highly recommend you check this one out sooner rather than later. There is scenes in here that will have your jaw on the floor, as they say. Okay, next one, number 10. So we're getting there. We've got 6 more to go. So number 10. So this one again is probably one that was really well known at the time. It just didn't seem to... It just missed me at the time. So it missed me when I was growing up. So I didn't get to this till maybe last year or year before. This is a movie called Accepted from 2006. I give this one 3.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. The average Letterboxd score is 3 stars. When every college turned them down, they made one up. A high school slacker who's rejected by every school he applies to opts to create his own institution of higher learning, the South Harmon Institute of Technology, on a rundown piece of property near his hometown. So yeah, basically this kid just decides that he can't get into the universities or the colleges that he wants to. He keeps getting turned down. To save face for his parents, he'll just tell them that he's got into this one that he makes up completely, but accidentally releases the website he creates for it or has created for it to the real world, and to which all these people will genuinely apply to go and watch it. Okay, so people that have seen this one that I follow. Graham over at Man v Film has given it 3.5 stars. We've got Ollie Loves Film has given it 4 stars. Ollie loves this one. And you've got Andy as well, Forgotten What a Movie's given us 3.5 stars. Again, Sam over at Sammy G's World of Cinema wants to see this one. So another one you want to get on there, pal. So accepted. Okay, so here we are. So we're into like the last 4. I'd say probably these ones will be my personal favourites of these, the list here personally. So this is one I think, speaking of Sammy G, he's just picked up quite recently based on my recommendation. I hope he enjoys this one. So this one I did give a 3.5 star out of 5. It gets an average of 3.6 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And it is a film called Kenny from 2006. Now this is a mockumentary style comedy, a knight in shining overalls. From the biggest festivals to the smallest church social, Kenny Smythe delivers portaloos to them all. Kenny tackles every septic challenge that comes in his way. Culminating a visit to the International Pumper and Cleaner Expo in Nashville, Tennessee, or as Kenny affectionately calls it, Poo HQ. So yeah, this one, I remember seeing the trailer for this one way back in the day when they were releasing it on DVD on another movie before the movie started. And there was a scene in this that just had me howling with laughter, and instantly I wanted to pick this movie up, so I did. There was a scene, just go watch the trailer, and you'll see that there's a massive hole in the back of one of these toilets, and the guy's reaction to it just was absolutely priceless for me. Let me see who's seen this one. Okay, so none of the people I follow on here have seen Kenny, so I can't give you anyone else's opinion on that one. Let's move swiftly on. If you like toilet humour, obviously that is the one for you. Mockumentary style. It's actually got a bit of heart to it as well. So if you, it sort of turns into a bit of a romantic film towards the back end of it as well. Next one. So one I don't hear anyone talk about. And let me just check here. Nobody again has seen this one that I follow on here or has logged it anyway. They may well have seen it. So this one here is a documentary, actually. So this one is a complete history of my sexual failures. I rated this 4 stars on Letterboxd. The average is 3.1, so I'm slightly ahead of the pack there with that. So the egocentric documentary maker Chris Waite, can't think what that is, traces his romantic ineptitude and sexual impotence through awkward interviews with irate ex-girlfriends and stunts involving S&M parlours, Harley Street doctors and Viagra overdoses. The results are often hilarious, sometimes moving, and speak directly to the hapless paramour of us all. I had a great time with this one. Now, I watched this one way back in the day, like I say, on DVD, and at that age, I didn't know whether this was a real documentary, a mockumentary, or just a complete, a complete farce. Looking into it now and rewatching it recently, I think it was a mostly genuine documentary. So this guy who's just a bit of a slacker, he just, as the kind of description suggests, he just decides he's getting to I think he gets to 30, and he realises that he's had all these relationships in the past, they've all failed. He's been dumped by all these women, and he's going to go and make a documentary by getting in touch with them all and asking them what went wrong, what didn't they like, why didn't it work, to try and better himself. Now, that doesn't go quite to plan, I would say, but the journey involved in getting through that process is at times hysterical. So especially that Viagra scene towards the end, that one definitely got me. So none of my pals on here have listed that one or seen that one, so I can't give you anyone else's 2 cents on that one either. Okay, so where we are now, so we've got 3 more to go. So the next one, number 13 on the list of 15, is a movie again which I think was just really, really big, and I just missed it personally. So from 1998, this is Can't Hardly Wait. So, and this one is number 13 on the list of 15. This is Can't Hardly Wait from 1998. Now, I think this one was probably a really big film at the time. I just missed it completely. So many familiar faces in this one when you start looking through it. There'll be people in here that you recognise that just you can't place from other shows. I used to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day. There's half the cast of Buffy in here is either background actors or just really small part actors when you start looking through the cast. I give this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this one. The average is 3.1 on Letterboxd. So this one here, it says it's graduation day at Huntington Hills High, and you know what that means. It's time to party. And not just any party either. This one will be a night to remember. As the nerds become studs, the jocks are humiliated, and freshman crushes blossom into grown-up romance. There we go. So this stars Jennifer Love Hewitt, who I know more from the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. But yeah, there's so many familiar faces when you start looking through this one. I mean, I've got hopefully the image up on the screen here. You might see a few of them on the side as well. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. Again, I don't know who's in this one that I know. So my mate Andy against in this one, so 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. Graham over at Man v Film has watched it but not logged any details. Sammy G again wants to see this one but hasn't seen it yet. And who else we got? Is that here? Leon Vegas as well, another YouTube guy. He wants to watch it but hasn't seen it according to Letterboxd. So there we go. That's that one. Next one. Okay, 2 left to go. So this one here was Van Wilder 2, The Rise of Taj. I gave this one 4 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd, and this is probably the most controversial score I've given any of these movies on here, according to the other Letterboxd score of the average. Has an average of 2.2 on Letterboxd, so it shows you how much I maybe have rated this one a little bit, but I had a great time with this one. Controversially, I enjoyed this sequel, probably straight to DVD sequel, more than I did the first Van Wilder movie, going back to that. There we go, that could be the hot take of the whole video. So yeah, from 2006, the legend is growing. So Taj Mahal, there you go, it's the character's name, leaves Coolidge College behind for the halls of Camford University in England. So they bring it here to England, where he looks to continue his education and to teach an uptight student how to make the most of their academic career. I had a great time with this one. So yeah, Taj Mahal, the character, he comes over to England. He gets basically shafted by all these posh, well-to-do kids who end up sticking him. He's like a teaching assistant or a teacher basically for this college, basically, and he ends up getting shafted with this kind of like group of reject kids in this sort of like rundown accommodation who have just got like very little self-esteem. He ends up just charging up their self-esteem, showing them there's a better way, you know, taking on the classy kids. There was a fencing scene in this which was really good. I can't think of the actress's name now, but she played Maggie in The Walking Dead. She's in this one as a well-to-do kind of like college assistant. I don't know what they call them. I don't know if we have them here, but they're like almost like teaching assistants, I think, in colleges or universities. But yeah, she plays the other one. That he's sort of like going against or like working alongside in a different class. Lots of hijinks, lots of like funny scenarios, you know, as you would imagine for all of these teen comedies. I had a really good time with that one, so I'd highly recommend it. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, and then the last one on the list was probably, if you've watched my video and I mentioned it before, you probably had no surprise. This one was probably I assume the best one or the most well-known one of the whole series of video recommendations I've given here, but that is the movie Hall Pass. I just think it's one that's being forgotten slightly now. That's why it's put on this list, not necessarily that it's not known. So from 2011, it's a Farrelly Brothers movie, easy for me to say. I rated this one 4.5 stars, the highest rating out of 5. Now this one only gets 2.3, which shocks me as an average on Letterboxd here. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this one just sang to me. This one is music to my ears. So yeah, 1 week, no rules. When best buds Rick and Fred begin to show signs of restlessness at home, their wives take a bold approach to revitalise their marriages. They grant the guys a hall pass, 1 week of freedom to do whatever they want. At first, it seems like a dream come true, but quickly discover that their expectations of single life and themselves are completely and hilariously out of sync with reality. There you go. That's probably the best way you can describe it. Okay, a few people send this one. Let's have a look. So we've got Scott the Movie Critic. He gives us one 3.5 stars. So yeah, good man, Scott. You like that one. Andy as well, my pal Andy, Andy's World of Movies. He gives one 3 stars. So I did like that one, but more than both those guys. Who wants to watch this one? Do I know? Oh, Leon wants to watch this one as well, apparently. Man v Film has also put this one down as logged, but not actually given any star rating. I have a great time with this one. I think I said this in my pickups video when I showed it recently. You know, I think if you were at the age of American Pie was a teenage movie for you as a teenager, I swear now, if you go back to this and you've gone down a similar path of like relationships, family life, that sort of stuff, you'll see things in this that you can relate to as well now, I think, and it may have more legs later on in life than it did maybe when it first came out in 2011 for you. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the video. Different type of video, like I say, I'm going to do a little bit more of this type of content, or just random videos of different things, I think, going forward into 2026, all being well. I hope you enjoyed. Check out all the channels I mentioned. I'll try and link them all down below, all good channels. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.